You can do virtually anything with QuickBase roles and permissions. And let's take a look at a particular use case. What we've got is a request to allow a team lead or a project manager to see their projects if they're one or the other person. So how are we going to do that? Well, we've got a QuickBase application here called ABC Project Manager 3, and we've got a resource table up here. And if we come down in here, let's say to Greg Baxter and view Greg Baxter, you can see that he reports to Albert Cruz. First of all, I'm going to change this to team lead so that we're all talking about the same person. Team lead, and we'll hit save. Now, this person, Greg Baxter, has a team lead of Albert Cruz, and I'm going to modify that and put my own name in here. So that I can take a look at roles and permissions and see how that works. So let's save that. When we've got a resource table like this, we can put the manager or team lead associated with a person, and whenever this person is selected, the roles and permissions also pull down who the team lead is. And so let's take a look at the relationship here. View the relationship. Now a resource is selected whenever you have a project manager. So let's click into that relationship. And you can see that we've got the user, brings the project manager over, and who they report to, which we're now referring to as team lead. Okay. Now, both of the users, the project manager and the team lead, will be on the same record. So let's say we're completed here. Let's exit out of here and go into a project. Now, usually, let's look for Greg Baxter, and I'm not seeing Greg Baxter in here. So let's commandeer one of these here and make Greg Baxter the person. Greg Baxter. I'm going to say save and close for a second, but I'm going to come back here and view this one. Now, what is not seen here is that other field. It's in the background. I'm going to right-click and add it and bring to the fore the team lead. All right, we've got this person. Now, I may be in a project where I am the project manager, so I also want to have the sensitivity of that as well. So there's a couple things you could do. You could say right-click. I want to add a field, which is going to control access. And so you might say that this is, we'll call this access. And what is this but a? And I'm going to use a formula checkbox in this scenario and say done. All right, and now I want this to be checked if this is me or this is me. So I'm going to right click, edit this, and I'm going to come down and say, let's first hover over and grab the project manager. There it is, project manager. I'm going to grab also the team lead there. So I'm going to say project manager is equal to user. That's the person looking at it. Or team lead is equal to user. So what that will do, it will be checked if either of those scenarios is there. So let's say that. So there we have access. Now if we come back to home, go into settings, and look at the roles and permissions, we're going to create a new team lead role, which defines what people can see and do. And when we get down here, we'll probably say, yes, you can see companies. And yes, you can see resources. And you may even say, well, I only want to see, well, let me just say I'm going to say all records here. But you could say, well, no, let's use the team lead. You have to be the team lead in order to see that. And then let's go down further and say that you can also modify them if you are the team lead of that employee. So projects, here we are. I want to show them if I have access. So I'm going to use a custom rule and say if access is true, then you have access to see those. And I'm going to also come over to custom rule and say if access is there, you have the ability to edit them. So there. So, and now we could pass this down. We have not passed it down yet, but that access could be passed down to tasks in the same way as a relationship works. So let's exit out of here. Let's see here. We have a visibility as a manager to see 6 projects. You can see Greg Baxter is one. I'm this one here. So I should be able to see 1, 2, 3 of these projects when I change the role. So I'm going to come up here, and where it says by role, I'll say team lead, and we'll see how many of these we see. We see 3 of these because the identity is controlled by that checkbox. So that's one way of being able to control access. Let's just take it one step further and pull it down into the task world. So I'm going to end this test. I'm going to look at the relationship. I'm on projects. I'll click on that. I'll look at the relationship between projects and tasks. And I want to take that access field that's there in the projects, add it as a lookup field as access, and create. And we could even edit this. It says project access. We could go like this and then hit save. And now we've defined with a checkbox what's visible in the task area. So let's say done. Now let's go back and look at how many tasks we see. And you can see we've got 41 tasks. Click. I need to see by access just those where I am the team lead. So I'm going to take this role here. So now this is, so I have to request permission because I'm in the wrong spot here. There. Let's go back here. My apps. And here's the access one here. Okay. So access denied, access denied, access denied, right? So we look into projects. I can still see my 3, but I've never been told I can see the tasks in the role. So I neglected to look at that part. So I'm going to end the test, go to home, go into settings, and now look at that role again. Because did I say that they could see tasks? Let's go see. I never said that they could see tasks. So I really need to make sure that that access is visible here. So I can see if they're checked. And the same thing applies to maybe allowing them to edit. I can extend that access right down there too. So there. Okay. We have updated it to include tasks. So let us exit out of here. How many tasks were there in total? 41. Let us now test this as a team lead, and we see we have 28 tasks. And if you look at this, I'm going to group this by, so we have Albert Cruz. Now we're seeing Albert Cruz because the actual manager or team lead of the manager up there is me. And if I click on that, one of those will be there. The same thing with these that are Chris Baker's, Colleen's, but we're really controlling access to only the ones where the project manager is either me or I'm the team lead managing that project manager.